and I am the third man working with Sam and Mike to restore the Andrew Barclay 2157 locomotive. I want to tell you a little bit more about the history of 2157 because she has an impressive CV, and it's good to give some backstory, especially to all of you who are following this restoration. Firstly, some quick facts. This engine weighs 22 tonnes, she has 14-inch cylinders and an 040 wheel configuration. She started off as an oil-burning locomotive but later converted to coal. She has a tractive effort of 14,300 pounds per foot, and that makes her half as powerful as the Flying Scotsman, but weighing 7 times as less. So where did it all start? This engine was built on the 20th of April 1943 at the Caledonia Works in Kilmarnock. The Ministry of Supply ordered her so she could work at the Royal Ordnance factories. You might be wondering, what is the Ministry of Supply? The Ministry of Supply was a government department set up in 1939 with the sole purpose to supply and equip the Army, Navy and Royal Air Force. What is the Royal Ordnance Factory? Royal Ordnance factories were set up across the country to manufacture munitions. In total there were 16, and our Andrew Barclay worked at Fort Parch. The ammunition produced here supplied the Army and Royal Air Force, proving that 2157 directly supported the war effort of World War II, and that is something that we are extremely proud of. After working at a few other Royal Ordnance factories, in November 1946, 2157 was then sold to the Five Coal Company Limited and subsequently had her firebox converted to burn coal. This modification was actually completed by Andrew Barclay themselves, which is nice for us to hear from a consistency standpoint. In 1972, after a 26-year stint lugging coal around, 2157 was withdrawn from service. 5 years later, off she went to the Thomas Muir scrap merchants in Fife to be chopped up into little bits. But thankfully she wasn't. The site closed, and in 1996 she was moved to the Thomas Muir Haulage and Metals in Kirkcaldy. Within the year she was sold to Staffordshire Locomotives before finally being moved to J&H Parry & Sons based in Shawbury. 3 years later, in 1999, two supporters of the Manga Apps Farm Railway moved her to Burnham on Crouch in Essex. This is where she was restored and began operation at the Manga Apps Farm Railway. Her last 10-year overhaul was completed in 2012, and in 2014 she received her name, Fanbridge, appropriately named as Fanbridge is a location close to the Manga Apps Railway. Quick side note, now she has started a new life with us, we are actually thinking about giving her a new name, so if you do have any ideas then let us know in the comments, we'll have a lot of fun reading them. It may be worth mentioning, Fanbridge is also the home to the Vulcan Restoration Trust, who are bringing Vulcan Bomber XL426 back to full ground running condition, which is absolutely awesome. And if you've ever heard one of these fly, then you are very lucky. The noise is like no other.
You must stay at home.
In the summer of 2020, 2157 went into a quarantine of her own and went back under overhaul. Now, this is where us lads fit in. In February 2023, 2157 was moved to Swindon and Cricklade Railway under new ownership of the Bristol and Somerset Locomotive Company Limited. She is back under overhaul, and as suggested in our previous video, she requires a lot of boiler work. If you haven't seen it yet, go and watch it, check it out. We're going to be providing new updates in the near future, so feel free to subscribe and follow us on this journey. We are now up to the present day of our Andrew Barclay timeline. In April 2024, she was moved to the Vale of Barclay Railway, a new up-and-coming heritage railway enriched with the history of Sharpness Dockyard, and we hope to see this engine up and running and operating at the Vale of Barclay Railway in the next few years. This is a very exciting time, and we would urge anyone who is interested in our company, our locomotive or the railway itself to check out the websites linked in the description below and see how you can get involved and help us keep history alive.
to live in Amsterdam.